Have you ever arrived at the court ready to play only to find that the tennis balls that you brought with you don't have the correct amount of bounce? Or are you tired of throwing away balls that have had little use but have gone soft? Tennis balls are sold in pressure cans. Once they're removed from the can, they will start to lose their pressure and their bounce. Hi, I'm Barry, and I've developed a system called PressureBall that will not only maintain the pressure in new tennis balls, but will also restore the pressure in old balls. PressureBall is a flexible plastic pressure tube that will take up to 8 tennis balls. It has an inflation valve at one end that will take most bicycle pumps and anything that will fit a car tyre, and at the other end has an easy to use clamping mechanism consisting of an outer that just slides off, and then there's a plastic in it that the tube is folded around to close. So once again, very easy to use. Place the plastic inner there, fold the tube over the top, take the outer and slide it across, and the tube is ready to inflate. I have a bicycle pump here with an integrated pressure gauge that will tell me how much pressure I'm putting in the tube. So it is then an easy matter to inflate the tube, place the pump on the top like so, and then begin to pump the tube up. Tennis balls have an internal pressure when they're new of around 14 psi. So if the pressure ball tube is pumped to 14 psi, the balls will remain in the tube at the correct pressure indefinitely. So here we are, we've just about got to 15 psi, 14 psi. There we have it. The tube is now pressurized to 14 psi, and the balls, as long as they stay in the tube, will maintain the correct bounce characteristics, the same characteristics they had when they were new. Now, as I mentioned earlier, PressureBall will take up to 8 tennis balls. 1 to 8 will fit in this tube at this length, but if you want a shorter tube, then it's an easy matter of just repositioning the clamping mechanism. So instead of putting it at the end, you could put it down in the middle, reposition the clamp, and this tube will now take approximately 5 balls. Now you've got to remember that this is a decision that you need to make when the tube is new. Once the tube is inflated, this section here actually stretches and then will no longer seal correctly around the clamp. You can clamp at the same place and you can go longer afterwards, but once the tube has been initially inflated, you can't go shorter. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you have new balls and you wish to maintain their pressure levels, then you need to pump the pressure ball tube up to 14 psi. However, if you have balls that are slightly flat, then you can pump this tube up to 20 psi and it will speed up the rejuvenation process. You can also put a little bit of extra pressure in new balls for rebound, say for instance for rebound practice against a wall. And once again, if you pressurize the tube to 20 psi, those balls will then develop a bit more bounce and will give you a bit of extra zing on your wall practice.